Italian Football Podcast.
There's only one thing to talk about here, and that is José Mourinho. Because, and I tweeted this out. No one does revenge like José Mourinho since maybe Michael Corleone in the final scene of Godfather 1, where he gets revenge on all the 5 families. I mean, that is José Mourinho. I mean, Nima, you would have seen this being an Inter fan, but no one does revenge like Mourinho. And I'm just going to go through like the revenge, two big moments of revenge that he did during this game, during and after this game against Monza. So the build-up to this game against Monza was this whole kind of Mourinho versus Rafael Palladino war, Palladino being the coach of Monza. And Palladino had called Mourinho and his team's behaviour scandalous after the last time they played in May. Just their whole kind of behaviour on the bench and their antics, which is something that we've seen multiple times by Mourinho's backroom staff. We saw it obviously in the Sevilla in the final, but we've seen it so many times. I mean, I've lost count how many times Mourinho and his staff have been sent off in the last 2 years, and Mourinho again was sent off in this game as well. But Mourinho didn't get drawn into words before the game. He was asked about what Palladino calling you scandalous, blah blah blah. He didn't get into it because Mourinho, when he gets his revenge, he waits for the right moment to get his revenge, and he did that when El Shaarawy scored the goal. I mean, he was gesturing. Did 2 gestures towards Palladino in the Monza bench. One, he did the like the yap gesture with his hands, as if to suggest you talk too much. And then he did the cry baby gesture, like with his twisting his fist, his clenched fist, and like rubbing it, simulating rubbing the eye as if you're crying, which was hilarious. That got him sent off. And then after the game, he went after Papu Gomez. Now, Papu Gomez was banned, received a 2-year ban for failing a drug test, which is very, very sad. Could be the end of his career. But Papu Gomez had given an interview last week in which he said, and I quote, "Mourinho, I only have one memory of him, and that is winning the Europa League with Sevilla against him." Of course, Papu Gomez was at Sevilla last season, and he was in the Sevilla's team or the squad. He didn't play the final that beat Roma on penalties in that really controversial final. So Mourinho, after the game, says, "I have a cough, but I won't take any syrup or any pills, or else I might have trouble passing the anti-doping tests." So he got his revenge on Papu Gomez. I mean, Nima, Mourinho, is there anyone better in football at revenge?
You don't go up against him verbally. I mean, the way that he knows exactly which buttons to press and how to do it. I mean, the way that he calling Wenger a voyeur. I mean,
and a specialist in failure.
What's his name? De Boer, the worst manager in the history of the Premier League. What he did to Conte, I've never seen Conte that agitated when Conte said that he was demented, senile and demented, and he said, basically said, "I've never been, unlike you, I've never been, suspended for match fixing," and Conte just lost his shit and wanted to kick his ass. The Ranieri thing.
The Ranieri thing was hilarious.
I mean, both at Roma and at Juve, there's so many things.
The Ranieri one was great when Ranieri had a snipe at Mourinho, because Mourinho he said he was missing too many press conferences and media interviews. He was kept skipping them, and Mourinho goes, "I studied Italian 5 hours a day for many months to ensure I could communicate with the players, the media, and the fans. Ranieri had been in England for 5 years and still struggled to say good morning and good afternoon. Who is he to tell me what to do?"
And not just that, the part where he spoke about where Ranieri had criticized him for, he doesn't develop football, he only cares about titles, and Mourinho replying saying, "That's true, I do care about winning titles, and that's how I know things are going well." maybe that's why Ranieri is 70 years old and has only won a small title in his career, but he's too old to change his to change his mentality.
I love how he exaggerates. I think Ranieri was like 60 at the time, but he made him 70.
I mean, or when he does with Lomon. I mean, the linguistics.
Pietro Lamonaco is the best one ever. I love that. I love when
Lamonaco.
Mourinho. One of Mourinho's tactics is he deliberately gets their name wrong. He
No, but he uses it because he's linguistically so talented.
Yeah, he uses puns.
He is the best communicator, I think, in terms of in football management.
He would be a great writer, comedy writer. He would be fantastic, like writing Saturday Night Live or something like that. Like
but his ability to communicate. I mean, that's, tactically he's not the most revolutionary, but what his absolute strength is communication. Winning people over, getting them to die and fight for him in war almost. And I remember the Monaco thing.
The Monaco one was the best. So we have to read. Can you read out the Monaco one? Because this kind of sums up how good he is with words and with wordplay.
This was in 2000. This is his first season,
2008.
And he's when he was at Inter and Inter had just beaten Catania 2-1, and he had said something about how he could have played in goal and Inter would still have won that game. And then Monaco, who was at Catania at the time, said he lacked respect. He just talked a lot. And then this is before the Champions League, and they go up to. I remember this so vividly. Every frame of that, an Italian media journalist goes up to him and says, "Do you have any response to what Monaco's declarations?" And Mourinho spontaneously says, Monaco what? Because in Italian, Monaco means monk as well. So he says, which Monaco?
And it means Monaco? Munich as well.
Yeah, Munich as well. So he says, Monaco what? The Monaco from Tibet, the monk of Tibet? And the journalist says, no, Pietro Lo Monaco from blah, blah, blah. And he says, look, I know Bayern Munich or Bayern Monaco. I know Monaco Monte Carlo, Grand Prix Monaco. I don't know any other. If someone named Monaco wants to use my name to gain publicity, well, they have to pay me. Like, what example did he use? I think he's Puma or Nike or Adidas. If they pay me lots of money to talk about that, to talk about them. But so now I'm not going to give free publicity to someone. No, he is the best. I mean, there is. I mean, I think Pep, when he said in the press room, he is the best. Like when he was.
That was the only time. You know what? That was the best thing that Pep ever did, because he won that battle by saying that, because he took it totally away from Mourinho's strong point to the pitch, which is where Pep was stronger, and he won that semi-final. But yeah, I mean that was I mean, there's so many examples, but no one does revenge like. Like
that's the thing. He never starts beefs, does he? He rarely, seldom starts beefs.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
He ends them. Like, that's why I thought it was so funny when him and Ferguson, they never went after each other like that, because there was so much respect between them. And Ferguson, you could tell he just loved him. That's
one thing I respect about me. I'm like that as well. I'll be honest. I'm like that in the sense that, in terms of with people, like I'm very respectful with people. I'll respect everyone on a human, individual level. I don't care where you're from, who you are. I'll respect you. But if you disrespect me and go after me, and as is often the case with Mourinho, it's they people go after him. I don't want to say completely like he doesn't do anything to bring it on, but on an individual level, he doesn't go after individuals. If you go against me, I will go after you. Don't worry about it. But I kind of respect that about Mourinho.